Welcome to Winning the Rig Game. As always, this is not investing advice. This is just a way to share my ideas and thoughts about the market. Today's video is a follow-up to the first episode when I talked about several different companies, the first of which was Space X and Starlink. I grouped those together because, well, Starlink is still part of SpaceX. Eventually, it could be spun off into its own company. The truth is, I really don't think SpaceX will be spun off to its own company, a private company, anytime soon. The reason being, Elon is set on going to Mars. And if it's a for-profit company, he has fiduciary duties to shareholders. I guess he still does with SpaceX being a private company and private shareholders, but I think it's probably a little different. Okay, so let's talk about some of the opportunities. The first opportunity, obviously, is Starlink. I'm going to come back to that one in a minute. Future possibilities for SpaceX. The commercial launch business for SpaceX has exploded, has really taken off. And as of right now, it's hard to find exact numbers, but I've seen statistics up to 50% and up to 65% of the commercial space launch business. Whatever the exact percentage is, it's massive. Why isn't it 100% at this point? That's the real question. Well, the truth is NASA wants to keep Boeing and United Launch Alliance in the game. They want them to stay in business. They don't want to be relying on any one company. And the truth is, well, senators and congressmen have those companies in their districts and they employ a lot of people. So they're still in the business. But the truth is, they really can't compete with SpaceX. SpaceX has the ability to land rockets, which makes it incredibly less expensive and more efficient. Soon, SpaceX is going to be launching Starship. That's going to change the game entirely. It's going to be 100% reusable. At this point, the Falcon rockets are not 100% reusable. They recover the fairings and the engines and the rockets, but they don't recover everything. Starship is going to be huge. The fact that they're going to be able to put more tonnage in space at a lower cost is going to be incredible. No one's close. Right now, SpaceX, private company, is really showing NASA how it's done. They're working closely with NASA, but the truth is, NASA wasn't able to land rockets. The Russians aren't able to land rockets. The Chinese, I think they've been able to land one, a private company, but they're nowhere close to what SpaceX is doing. So that's the first business, commercial launches for SpaceX. A future business could be mining of asteroids. Now, I know that sounds like science fiction, something with Bruce Willis and far off future, but once they're able to get Starship, it's going to be possible. The ability to get that much tonnage in space creates a lot of possibilities. Now, I'm going to go a little conspiratorial and talk about Tesla and what that might bring. Tesla is working on robots. Obviously, when Tesla announced the robot, a lot of people, myself included, immediately thought of SpaceX and this is what Elon wants the robots for, is to build a space colony on Mars and do a whole bunch of the work before humans are able to go there. And the truth is, that might be a possibility. If Elon is able to get these robots actually working, which I think eventually he will, he could send 1,000, 10,000 robots to Mars. He's talking about sending starships every 3 days to Mars, and numbers of upwards of 1,000 starships. That's a huge cost, but the opportunities are immense. So colonizing Mars, yeah, that's a future business. It sounds crazy, but he could also put robots mining in space, mining of asteroids. Now, a lot of the asteroids are not held together very strongly, microgravity, but the truth is they have a lot of resources, and the ability to get water from asteroids and rare earth materials, metals, all sorts of things. Every type of material is available in space. So maybe the robots would be something that would eventually become or work with SpaceX. I know it sounds crazy. So how's Elon going to fund this? Starlink. Starlink has the potential of making anywhere from $30 to $50 billion a year. Who knows? Maybe more. I could also see a future where Starlink is incorporated into the cars. Right now, it's not possible. The phase array antenna is too big, but you can get that service on boats, planes, and RVs. Another 5 years or so of development, 6 years, 10 years, who knows? In the future, maybe every Tesla vehicle is going to come with a built-in Starlink package, and they don't have to pay at that point services for a cell provider. You're just going to have broadband internet to your house and car. So the future potential of Starlink and SpaceX are massive. Now, going back to Tesla, they announced Project Dojo, in which they're building an exascale supercomputer. Actually, they're building 7. How useful is a computer without being connected to the internet these days? Well, not very useful. The whole benefit today of having a cell phone, a smartphone, a computer, tablet is being able to have ubiquitous Wi-Fi or internet connectivity wherever and whenever you want. Otherwise, for the most part, you can download some videos and watch them on a plane or play games or something like that. But the productivity without an internet connection is much less. I think that might be the same for Dojo. So Tesla is building Project Dojo, an exascale supercomputer, 7 of them, and his other company is going to have a global internet. I think that's not an accident. I think the two of those at some point are going to be connected. I mean, it makes too much sense to me. We also know that Project Dojo is going to be used to train the full self-driving vehicles, the robot, possibly used for the auto bidder software, which is going to trade energy credits, and he's working towards artificial general intelligence. Well, artificial general intelligence, I'm pretty sure, is going to need a global internet, and that's going to be provided by SpaceX. I know this episode is a little far out, actually very far out. It's in space, but I don't know. Some of these things might be potential. Regardless, the future of SpaceX and Starlink, which we think will be coming public in a few years, maybe 5 years, we'll have to see. Elon has only about 2,000 satellites currently. He has plans to achieve 42,000 Starlink satellites. I think the future for SpaceX and Starlink are going to be amazing. Personally, I think Tesla is going to be the most valuable company by 2030. The only company that I think has greater potential in the long term is going to be SpaceX. If SpaceX is able to do near-Earth asteroid mining, it will be significantly more valuable than Tesla. We just have to wait and see, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on SpaceX and Starlink and everything Elon does. It's a wild future. I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm really looking forward to the upcoming launch of Starship. Now, I don't have any expectations it's going to work. Elon's saying it's not going to work, but eventually they'll get it to work. So that's one to keep an eye on. I'm not sure which company I'm going to go over next, but it'll probably be Anduril. Okay, thank you very much. Hit the bell, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Help me grow the channel. It would be very much appreciated. Thanks very much.